All right, guys. We are in. We are in the game. Get this moved over a little bit. Fluffy's laying on the court. Hey, bud, how we doing? Bud and JB are here. All right, guys. Everything good? All right, everybody can hear me good? I'm still working on my mic. I'm just using the webcam mic today. Something's going on with this other microphone, so y'all just make sure. If y'all can hear me good, I'm not going to mess around anymore with that other mic until I figure out what's going on with it. So, on paper, we just about became the best team in the Eastern Conference. Thanks, bud. With the exception of Tampa. I wanted to say that. But, wow. In terms of what we can roll out, if we don't get rid of anybody right now, I don't know how we're going to pay everybody, but that's a problem for next season. I think this year we're good to go. And remember, Vetrano, I think the writing's on the wall, obviously, for Vetrano not getting paid. You know, Frank, Tim, thanks, bud. All right, everybody's here. Tim wants to know what it'll cost to sign Bennett and Reinhardt. Bennett has been offered the Duclair contract, and he has said no so far. But everything that I'm hearing says that we're going to get a deal done. The other thing is that you asked about Reinhardt. I think we're probably looking at something like 4 times 6. That would be my guess. I think he made 5.2 last year. So, you know, the money is there. We're going to have to move something. And like I said in yesterday's video, I fully expect, or I'm not going to be even a little bit surprised if we let Vetrano go to get rid of Strawman. And that move alone would do it. But you think 4 times 6 for Reinhardt, right? And then Frank, yeah, $4 million. $4 million for Bennett, yeah. I've been saying 3 times 3.5. He apparently believes he's worth a little bit more money than that, from what I'm hearing. But I think something will get done. I think now, especially that we got Reinhardt, he's got to look at the team and be like, dudes, we're, you know, if he wants to win a cup, he can tie his future to Huberdeau. And, you know, 3 times 3.5, he's still only, I think, 24 or something like that. So, you know, he's still got time for another big contract. You know what I mean? Robin, how you doing, buddy? You should be in bed. You're in for a 14-hour workday, but you're here for your. Hey, man, I appreciate that, huh? You hang out for a few minutes and then you go to sleep, right? Basically, we're just shooting the shit about how incredibly the Panthers are the best team in the Eastern Conference now, with the exception of Tampa. I can't be talked off of that. SoFlo, Captain Dave, thanks for coming out. Hey, guys, make sure you guys, I got to start getting used to asking this. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way in, because apparently that's how the algorithm works. The longer I stay on, the more that you guys hit the like button, then it starts showing the stream to other people. So I've never been a big guy to say, I see, that's 2 like buttons right there. I've never been big. You guys know I don't like subscribe, like, share. I'm not all about that at the beginning, but I guess I should be. That's 7. I appreciate it, guys. All right. Captain Dave, where does Strawman wind up since Arizona passed? Yeah, that's a good question. I think that was some of the holdup yesterday. Now, this is just me. This is me piecing together some of the things we heard about how Strawman kind of maybe doesn't want to go to Arizona now because Larson was gone, and how we heard yesterday while we were waiting for the trade announcement that there was some languaging around the picks in the plural. So I believe, and we also heard about the Vetrano thing. So piecing that all together, I feel what happened is we had a deal in place for Reinhardt. But then I think what we try to do is say, hey, How about Vetrano and some picks, and you guys take Stroman? And to be honest, I think what might have been the holdup was trying to convince Stroman to go to Buffalo, which good luck. So that's what I think might have happened yesterday. I think that might have been what happened. Hey, one bad Steve. Hey, old man. All right. Bud, what would I pay for Suter? 3 times 5. That's the best we can do. But we got to move. I don't think there's any more incoming without moving pieces. Absolutely. But I think somebody's going to give Suter more money than that. I think Suter's going to get 4 or 5 years. Somebody's going to overpay. That's my opinion. And then JB, you say Suter's worth Zaniando. Now, JB, come on, man. Now you have to tell me how that is, because when he got bought out, all of their fans were like, everything I saw, their fans were saying he's still a legit top 4 defenseman. Neil, thanks for coming out. And Bod, your name is Neil, right? I assume that. For some reason I said Neil. Anyway, almond milk, vanilla almond milk. I just had a coffee cup full of Monster, so I didn't want to double down by having coffee. All right, I don't want to miss too much here. I'm going to do what One Bad Steve says and scroll back up to the top. He's the one that told me to do it. Robin, I don't think Stroman's going to be a buyout. It would make no sense, because if we buy him out, then that's going to take that hit and extend it to next year. So I think if we was going to buy him out, we would have. Yeah, absolutely so, Flo. I mean, Reinhardt, absolutely. Yeah, I agree there. I mean, if we were going to get a partner for Barkov, what a score. This guy Zito is crazy. Exactly so, Flo. Reinhardt was on pace for 38 goals. Man, you put him with Barkov, and it's just going to be a beautiful thing. It's just going to be beautiful. Chris, let's see. Great drafting by the Panthers, in your opinion, this offseason. Yeah, I think, Chris, I'll agree with you. I think we're still going to see a defenseman come in, but we've got to get some of these contracts done, right? I mean, we've got to get Barkov extended. We have to get Bennett signed. We need to sign Reinhardt. Is that it? Is that it that's on the must list right now? Because we already got Duclair. We're working on a deal for Wenberg, which I don't understand. The only thing that, when I talked to George Richards, I said, do you think Wenberg is like a safety net in case Lundell comes in and isn't quite ready? And his opinion, his thought from the team was that they view him as the legit, and that Lundell is not an automatic. So I don't think Wenberg's going to get big money. But it does surprise me that that's one of the guys that they're working on. But we've got to get these guys signed, especially the Bennett thing. We don't want to add too much else until we know we've got these guys locked up. One Bad Steve says Stroman at the end of his career. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, right? You're not going to convince me to go to Buffalo anyway, right? He's got 1 year left. But somehow we got to find a way. And don't be surprised if Achari is part of one of those deals either. That's why we protected and extended Marchment. He's the Achari replacement. JB, yeah, that could happen. But I think that that's really not what they want. I think that's why they want Nerful. Yeah, moving Lundell to wing is something that George kind of alluded to, that we may have Wenberg at 3C with Lundell on the wing. Right. So, Flo, about the 1C, yeah. If he plays on Barkov's wing, you see him return back to earth a little bit and put up no. I don't know about. I don't know now. I see what you're saying, but I would think that it would actually give him more scoring opportunities being on Barkov's wing, because Barkov is not exactly a shoot first guy. So I think that that increases his goal total. Rob, let's see. Wenberg was everything from solid to really good, so I don't understand. Right. No, Robin, it's not that we don't like the kid or we don't want him here. He doesn't do anything overly flashy, but he's good on faceoffs. He's good defensively. I think, we Panther fans, we do the same thing every year, right? There's two of my preseason previews from years past, not this one, but the two previous, where we've got Borgstrom penciled in at 2 or 3C because we all thought he was going to be something. And then, so we're kind of doing the same thing with Lundell a little bit right now. Q has got his reasons, just like with Marchment. There's stuff going on behind the scenes with Achari. He's not exactly, he's a little bit beat up, right? So Marchment is the Achari replacement, and I think that Wenberg is going to be there. Look, if Lundell works out great, maybe you flip him out on wing, especially if we end up losing for Toronto, right? Nerful, yeah, absolutely. Hey, Mr. Vince, how you doing, buddy? I appreciate that. You coming out, man. Yeah, Captain Dave, from what I'm hearing, everything I've heard about Ekblad, Zito had a conference call with the media guys, and they all said that Ekblad looks great. So that's good. All right, let's see, Robin. I know you never penciled in Borgstrom. Right. Yeah, I agree with you there, man. I mean, look, for so long, Robin, we kept hearing about all these young guys coming up, right? Remember all the years, 12, 13, 14, 15, the young guys that are coming up. We've got all these great young players coming up. So when it would be their turn to come up, the fans, we were kind of like, we got sold a bill of goods about the expectations, right? I mean, remember Quentin Howden. He was going to be the next big thing. And then Lawson Krause was going to be the next big thing. And Borgstrom was going to be the next big thing. And Rocco Grimaldi. And I could go on. Not that they didn't turn out to be decent players, but the organization would build them up, especially Talon would build them up so much that, as fans, we want them to be as good as we're being told, right? All right, let's see. Pouncing Pucks, thanks for coming out, buddy. Yeah, man, I am stoked. I'm absolutely stoked, and there's going to be a lot. All right. That's two. It's going to be. I can smell. What's that? 50 wins, 60 wins. I can smell it, man. It's going to be a hell of a good team, and I'll tell you what's going to happen, especially with all this scoring ability. When we play the lesser teams, we are going to be running up some scores. Okay, I fully expect. I think that our goals for average is going to be hype. You know what I mean? Because we're going to be able to get up early and often on teams, and really the only team in the AFC, the only team in the Eastern Conference that I'm even blinking at is Tampa. That's it. And, we just took Tampa to 6 without Ekblad, with shoddy goaltending at the beginning of this season or series, and certainly without Reinhardt. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Mr. Vince, I fully expect this team, if we ice this team right now, and especially if we get another top 4 defenseman. Let's say we move Stallman with Vetrano. We get another top 4D. In my mind, Eastern Conference Finals is where I say, okay, we made it to the finals. It's been a satisfactory season. What we have to do is avoid Tampa in that first round. I don't know how I forget how the playoffs are set up that way. So I don't think we can do that, especially if we finish 1-2 in the division. We can avoid them. But absolutely, I see that's the only team I look at and I question whether we can beat them in a 7-game series because of Vasilevsky. Tim, exactly. That's the only team. Everybody else, just bring it. Just bring them right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, Robin, he's our best looking prospect since Barkov. Absolutely, right? All right, let's see. Yeah, bouncing pucks. Hopefully we do add it. We need one more. I mean, we can ice the team we have with a solid top 4. But if we could get Suter or somebody like him and then put Gudis on the bottom to just even things out a little bit more, that would be spectacular. But Strawman, that's the key there, because we really don't want to go into the season having to scratch and play him a little bit. Somebody's going to take that contract, and it's probably going to cost us Vetrano. But we're not re-signing Vetrano anyway, okay? There's just not going to be money there to pay a player of his caliber to be on the third line. That's going to have to be, Lundell, Wenberg, Yanasenko line if we're going to pay everybody else. Daniel, thanks for coming out, buddy. We had the key for Vasi in the playoffs, though. Yeah, absolutely, man. Look, I mean, when he wanted to shut somebody down, he shut him down. The thing with Tampa, if we had Ekblad being out caused so much. It just ruined our chances at winning that series. And I mean, right now, give me a healthy Ekblad and Spencer Knight in goal. And I'm not going to say I guarantee we beat the Lightning, but we could beat the Lightning. They could still beat us too, obviously, because they got Vasilevsky and they're the champs. But that's a toss-up series, in my opinion, at this point. JB Montour, I don't expect him back, man. I really, me personally, I don't expect him back. But it's I don't think we can afford him anyway. Frank, thank you, buddy. Much appreciation. All right. In Zito, we trust. But don't be surprised if we ship out more than Vetrano and Strawman. He'll do what's necessary. He'll make the tough decisions. Absolutely, man. Look, and I know you don't want to allude to Tippett. I was talking with Stu today, which, by the way, I want to let everybody know here real quick. Stu is helping line up. We've got some guests coming up here at the end of the week. This week we've got one or maybe two high-quality, highly well-known guests. And make sure you are subscribed. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you know, because we're getting real. Stu's got connections. It's not Wayne Gretzky yet, but we're getting there. Now, Frank, back to your point here real quick, man. Yeah, don't be surprised to see Vetrano go. Don't be surprised to see Achari go. I really don't want to see Owen Tippett go because money. He's a good young player. We could probably count on him this year for 15, maybe a little bit more if he plays with Bennett and Huberdeau. And salary-wise, that's the kind of player we need. So I really don't think we're going to see Tippett go. I know I'm a fanboy and everything like that, but we need guys like that we can plug into the top 6 or 9 that are going to score goals, play good on defense, and not cost a ton of money. So I really think Tippett stays. I really do. Hey, Simon Law, thanks for coming out, buddy. I appreciate it. That's a new name. Laban, thank you for coming out, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got to sign Reinhart, Bennett, and then re-sign Barkov. Those are the 3. Absolutely. That's going to get done. Reinhart already tweeted out or said something on Instagram. I forget where it was. But he's going to sign. We're good to go there. I think we're going to be doing 4 times 6 there. In terms of Bennett, it's going to get done. Everybody I've talked to feels like it's going to get done, that the two sides will come together. I think we're going to have to pay a little bit more than Duclair, but pay the kid. If it's anything 4 or under, and that's what he's asking for, the only holdup in my eyes there is term. Let's see, Mr. Vids, had we used the traditional divisions, if we played Boston in the first round, absolutely, man. we would have absolutely taken Boston down. They cannot keep up with our speed, and even with our shoddy goaltending, Rask was hurt. I'm not ranking the guy. Frank Rask is one of my favorite players, but he was clearly not himself. I think really anybody else that we played in that first round, with the exception of Carolina, would have been a guaranteed first round win. Obviously, we know what happened with Tampa and with Carolina. You know how we did with them in the regular season. Stu is here. Boca Stu is in the house. All right, Stu, I just told everybody that we got Gretzky, Yager, and Lemieux coming next week through the channel. So, hype, man, hype. All right, Nerful, hold on a second. Let me see what you got here. I'm looking for it, bud. Oh, difference between Borks and Lundell. Borkson played in the NCAA with kids. Lundell played in the Worlds with men. All right, absolutely, man. SoFlo, I see your Suter or Dougie Hamilton. If we can get Stroman off the books, can we afford? Hey, SoFlo, how much do you think Dougie's going to cost? How much do you think we're looking at with that? All right, let's see, Robin. If we don't have Lindstrom of Owie. Trust me, Robin, it's going to be good. Stu has got the hookup, man. Stu is the man. It's gonna be. We're gonna have to rename the channel. Yeah, Robin. Bennett's gonna be here. Bennett's gonna be here, right? Yeah, Draisaitl. I know how to say his name. I hear it in my head, but then when I say it, no, that's not really going to happen. And we can't. There's no more room for guys to sign money wise, anyway. Thank you, Simon. I appreciate that. Right? I appreciate that absolutely, man. Stu's in the house. See, Stu, I told you, man. These guys love you, right? Reinhardt tweeted from Tootsie's that said South Florida will be better than Buffalo. Absolutely. Hey, Mr. Vince. All right. Thank you, but I really appreciate that, man. Absolutely, absolutely appreciate that, dude. I'm happy about it, too. Believe me, helps out. I was doing the math on what I'm making so far in terms of the super chats and the ads on the videos. And from what I see, that when hockey starts and also when football starts, the math leads out to where I should be able to make my van payment with what I'll be making, which is about $500 a month. Well, the van payment is $500 a month. So if I can make my van payment doing this, I'll do naked live streams. We'll be here all day. That nobody will be here for that. I know. Don't worry. Only Steve wants to see a naked live stream. He's the only one. But let's see who's better: Barkov, Hubie, Reinhardt, Verhaeghe, Matthews, Marner, Tavares. Jeez, that's a lot of names. Well, in terms of Panther players, I like Hubie, man. Hubie's my guy. Matthews, Marner, Tavares, and Nylander. I mean, Matthews is tough to beat, right? Tavares is obviously kind of a little bit older and beat up right now. JB, too. JB, man, I hear you, brother. SoFlo, you can't imagine Dougie is more than 7, right? Yeah, that's what I don't know if we can afford that, man. I'm not sure. Which 4 would I take out of those, bud? That's tough, but I'm going to say Barkov, Hubie, Matthews, and Marner. How's that? Yeah. What did Steve get in trouble for himself up? All right, so I've got a second now. If I missed anybody, Draisaitl. Okay. Yeah, you know what happens? Draisaitl, right. I get it in my head. I know how JB, let me tell you, so many times this happens when I'm like getting ready to do a video. I will go and I will listen to how his name is pronounced. And I will get it, and I will get it, and I will get it. And And as soon as I'm on camera, I'm like, let's just call him Captain Underpants because I can't say his name. So, yeah, man, Stu, you're absolutely right, man. People are going to be very, very happy. All right, let's see what I missed here now. Oh, I see what you're saying. The Panther 4 of the turn. Oh, absolutely, the Panther 4, man. Absolutely. I got you. I was combining. I was mixing and matching. But no, I'll take our players over any roster in the NHL. And Tampa, obviously, I'm excluding Tampa because they can't win 3 in a row, right? Does everybody agree that's it for Tampa? You can't win 3 in a row. It's just not going to happen. So I say, you guys, Tampa just needs to take a year off. Take a year off. Give somebody else a chance, like Tom Hanks said. Or who was it that said that? No, it was Opera Man telling Tom Hanks to give someone else a chance. Simon, have I met face-to-face in a hockey game? No, I haven't been to a game in quite some time. I haven't met anybody from the channel and any of my followers or subscribers. I haven't met anybody face-to-face. The hope right now is that if we make the playoffs, I can't come down during the regular season. I certainly can't come down during football season because I'm doing both now. But if we make the playoffs, I don't know. I'm gonna put Fluffy. I'm gonna put Fluffy Fluffy and Ellie in a Winnebago and have somebody drive my ass down there. Maybe, right? Exactly, so Flo. They can't win 3 in a row, man. Frank, yeah, Bertana was put on waivers. Well, yeah, they bought him out, right? They bought him out. Oh, hold on a second. Mr. Viz is... Yeah, Mr. Viz, I did a schedule review the other day. The audio quality is not great. It's 82. It's 82 games. I believe somewhere about 5 or 6 times we've got road games back-to-back and 3 out of 4 nights. Yeah, it's an interesting schedule, and we have a space in March where the Fluffy's walking around distracting me. We have a home game on March 10th, and we don't have another home game until March 29th. Hey, buddy, can you guys see Fluffy's right here? Come here. Move that microphone out of the way. Come on. Hey, come here. Take 2 more steps, and everybody can see you. You dummy. He wants ear rubbings. Come here. Lift up your head. No. All right. He's just going to walk around and distract everybody. No, I didn't get his tail in it. Where are you going? He's going behind the chair. Excuse me a second. Fluffy, what are you doing? He's never done this before. What are you doing? Why are we back here? You're sitting behind the chair. Look at this. This is what I got. There he is. There he is. He's just decided to come. There's about 1.5 feet, and he's going to lay down right behind me. All right. Now I know what he's wanting to do. He's been in front of me all this time, and now he's behind me. All right. Good boy. Okay. Back to hockey now. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds like we're very interested in Suter. Absolutely, man. I agree. My laptop is giving me a little bit of a problem here. Give me a second. I got to catch up on the chat. It's giving me the arrow. Is that a cat? Yeah, it's a big Siamese cat that was damaged by some military nuclear experiments. Fluffy with the hot pepper challenge. No. That the hot pepper challenge for a dog would lead to the 4 a.m. diarrhea challenge for me. All right, let's see. We need depth like last year. We love to see Lamico. You know, I haven't even mentioned that kid, Frank, with Lamico. I haven't even mentioned it. You look at the team. I mean, Barkov, Verhaeghe, and Reinhardt. Huberdeau, Bennett, Tippett, okay? Then Vetrano with Lundell and DeClaire, and Achari with Lomberg and Marchment. I mean, there's no Danisenko. There's no Heponiemi. There's no Lamico. That's 3 names off the top of the head. And where's Hornquist? I didn't even mention Hornquist. That's another name. that's another name that's making some cap that don't be surprised, right? Hell, I haven't even thought about that until right this second. Are we gonna keep Hornquist and just scratch him every night? Or not every night. I mean, I'm being extreme now, but you guys get the point. That was a damn good roster I just mentioned, and I didn't even think about Hornquist when I was thinking about we might lose Vetrano and who we're going to put on that third line with him. So if we lose Vetrano, then you got a third line of Lundell, Hornquist, and maybe Wenberg. I mean, we've got so many players. It's ridiculous. All right, a couple of guys here. Hey, Eric Cruz, thanks for coming out. Michael Siegel, what's the ideal situation for getting rid of Strawman? Well, honestly, if we could find a way, if somebody was going to take picks and like Denisenko, one of the younger guys, I'd prefer, honestly, I know there's Vetrano fans, but we're not going to be able to re-sign him. And you just heard me lay out the roster where there's no room for Heppo, Niemi, or Denisenko. So we either need to move Vetrano with Strawman to make room for one of those guys, and I think that's what we're going to need to do because we can't pay everybody. And Vetrano is going to be asking for a decent contract, and he's worth it. You know what I mean? So I think the best thing to do in terms of Strawman is to move Vetrano and slot in one of those kids in his place. And like I said, I already had forgotten about Hornquist as well. Yeah, Gabriel Cruz, man, the top 9 looks so good. I know. The top 9 looks so good, and we leaving people out. We're loaded. We're loaded. Somebody's got to go. There's just no way. Either Vetrano or Hornquist, but Hornquist we'd have to pay somebody to, we'd have to eat some of that cap too. Where the hell is he going to play, on the third line? This is what makes me go crazy because we've got Hornquist, right? Soflo, he's got a place in the bottom 6, sure, but then why are we working on a contract for Wenberg? We've already got too many guys. We've got too many guys already. So why would where the hell is Alex Wenberg going to play? Unless we're going to sign him to a small contract to just be the scratch, to be the fill-in. It's tough. All right, Mr. Vids, in the alternate history, we made the playoffs in the first season. We missed it by 1 point. How would we have done against the Rangers? That's an interesting question. God, I tell you what. How much of that Ranger team was similar to the one that we lost to in 97, because that second year in a row when we made the playoffs after 96, the Rangers took care of us pretty easily. So I think that if the Rangers team was anywhere close to what they were, if it was pretty much the same core, I think that pretty much answers the question because they beat the crap out of that team, after we got rid of Barnes and Woolley that second season. That's the only time we made the playoffs 2 years in a row. So I think the Rangers would have probably beat the crap out of us, honestly. Michael, hey buddy, yeah, you're at the gym. I need to get on the weight bench. Let me tell you, when you get older, man, the muscle mass loses quick. I saw somebody say something up here I wanted to get to though. So, right, Tim, where does Duke go if Reinhardt's on the top line, and then Pouncing Puck says Duclair's going to be on the second. Tipper will be with Wenberg and Horn. Wow, Pouncing Pucks. All right, I'm listening to this. Now, let's just hold on a second. You think Duke is going to play second line, Tipper with Wenberg and Hornquist on the third line, and Vetrano will get traded. Lundell will stay in the AHL for a year. That really, to me, I'm not a fan, but I think I can see what you're trying to put together there with the third line, because Tippett is a shooter. So if you got Hornquist creating a mess, Tippett takes his shot, Hornquist gets in the rebound, and Wenberg facilitates. It's obviously not a bad third line, but that means, all right, Vetrano's gone, and that means Strawman's gone, and then you think Lundell's going to stay in the AHL for a full year. I haven't heard anybody saying that yet at all. What makes you think that, bud? Wenberg can play goalie, yeah, right? All right, I missed a few things here. Let's see. Eric, Verhaeghe's on that top line, man. Absolutely. Stu, you saying Wenberg? What? Is that official? Did something happen? did we say we're not going to sign him, Stu? Hey, no, Robin, go ahead, man. Go to sleep. I know you got a busy schedule and everything. I'm going to be on for a little while until the voice runs out. I'm going to at least be on a full hour, and then we'll see how long I go past that. So, yeah, and it's cool. If you got to go to sleep, trust me. I just took a 2-hour nap before I came on, so go catch your rest, man. Lombard 1C. So Gabriel says Lundell, right. Yeah, Alexander Roche. That's as Stu would say, trading Bob is anything with moving Bob is wishful thinking. Unfortunately, I was talking with Stu about this earlier, and the reality is that this is my opinion now. At least 2 years. At least 2 years, and that's smart because while Bob has not been great, if we don't have anybody else, right? We got Monty, and that's it. So I would like to see them split, okay? Even as evenly as possible. But Knight is still, what, 20? Is he 21? We can't just throw him out there for 60 games. So I think Bob is here for a minimum 2 more seasons. And then once the Strawman stuff and the Yandel stuff is done, and we've got Barkov and Huberdeau, we've got everybody signed. Then if we look at everything and want to find a way to do something with Bob, I think we will and we can. Q already showed he's going to play, Knight. So what remains to be seen? All right, I've seen a couple of things here. Chris, did I see Eichel as a possibility for Florida? No. Oh, do I? No. No, I don't. I can't imagine a scenario where anything would happen with that. Yeah, JB to the Wilder Kings. Yeah, I agree with that. JB, somebody asked about their comment up top. JB, yeah, Gudis with Connaughton, bottom, and find a pair for Forsling. I agree with you completely. Michael, how do I like your lines? All right, let me check this out. Bennett, Hubie, Tippett. All right. So Verhaeghe, Barkov, Reinhardt, Bennett, Hubie, Tippett. Where's the third line? Yeah, the Marchman Chari but I don't see a third line here. Oh, here we go. Yeah. No, I'm good. The question for us, Bud, is we have an abundance of riches, right? So, we could put together so many different combinations of legit. By the time this is done, our third line is going to be a legit second line. We've got that kind of a roster now. We absolutely are ready to match up with the top teams, no doubt. Yeah, Gabe. Right now he can't be moved. Right now he's not going anywhere. Give it at least a couple of years. If Knight turns into Vasilevsky and Bob wants to still play and not be a $10 million backup, then he'll have to waive his clause and we'll have to eat some of the salary. But it's at least going to be 2 seasons. There's just nothing going to happen before then. Right, Stu. Yeah, no. Look, I see what you're saying. We'll get it out of your – at least 2 years. I'm saying 2 years, right? This season and the next season, and then let's see. And I'm saying that because of what happened with Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky came up, played a few games, and then he split the second year, and then the third year was like 50-something games, and then boom, he was off to the races. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. And I know, look, at some point, Knight's going to take over, right? Are we just going to pay a $10 million backup goalie for forever? I don't know. But at least 2 more seasons. It's just not Nothing's going to happen. All right, let's see. Right, Bud. Yeah, we lose the retirement, the Luongo thing, right? Chris wants to, did I like Neuendijk and Roberts back in the day? That's a question for Stu. Now, back in the day, I didn't, I was a Panther fan, but I wasn't really so much of a hockey fan. There wasn't an opportunity back then to watch a lot of hockey, right? Back then, when the Panthers came out, the satellite dish was like this huge monstrosity, and it wasn't like today where you could just pop online and watch everybody. So I was an Edmonton Oilers fan without ever having watched a hockey game because I just liked, for whatever reason, I don't know, I liked opening up the newspaper and reading about Gretzky and Messier and everybody. And then when the Panthers came in, I became a Panther fan, obviously. But I didn't start watching a lot of other hockey until, when did I get DirecTV first? 2000, early 2000, or right after 9/11 or something like that. Roche, no, Alexander Roche, no chances of that happening. We are, I think, offensively, I was scrolling up and I see what you guys were talking about. You're talking about Bob mentoring Knight, and JB says, "Okay, Knight, just keep your legs open to intimidate the opponent." That's awesome, JB. If I could give you a super chat back for that, I would. That's awesome. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it, bud. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody that's been hitting that like button, because the more that you guys hit that like button, the more that YouTube will show that I'm live. So this is good. It must be working because I got a few more people in here than normal. So I appreciate that. Stefan Chet. All right, the Barkov extension. We can't sign him. Somebody had said we can't officially re-sign him until the 28th. I guess because that's the free agency period. I think we're looking at 5, 6 times 10, 6 times 10, 7 times 10, 6 times 10. I see, and I'm looking at that question now. You were asking about if I liked them as Panther players when we had them at the end. And I was thinking about when they were playing for their, because what Stu said is exactly right. I don't even like guys like that. I doesn't even ring that. Oh yeah, it's like Tim Thomas. It's like, how many of you remember Tim Thomas was our goalie for a season? These older guys used to come in and they were in and out so fast that you forget that they even played for us. Bud says the Panthers are second in the race for Suter behind Dallas. Where you hearing that one, buddy? I hope that's true. We can't overpay. Obviously, we're gonna have to get rid of somebody. We're gonna pay him. We gotta get rid of somebody, man. For Toronto, don't buy a house, Frankie. Don't buy a house, Frankie. Hey, can Hornquist play center? And I'm just asking about that because if we move Achari, could Hornquist center the fourth line? Or Marchment? Is Marchment, either one of those guys played center before? Because I just have a feeling that because Achari's making a couple bucks, I don't know. I have a feeling that he may get moved. I heard too much about that yesterday. All right, let's see. Yeah, Horny was the two. That's right. Yeah. So then, and Marchment is the center. Okay. All right, some Panther fan. Yeah, you know what I mean, man. I'm saying, thank you, Simon. I appreciate that. Achari's only 1.6. Right. Yeah, Strawman's got. Right. All right, so Achari is the deal. All right. Oh, according to Pierre LeBrun. Okay. Absolutely. That's good news, bud. Eichel might be heading to the Rangers. Jesus. Then they've already gotten a couple people too, right? Freaking Gallant's going to have a great time out there, man. All right, Mike, I appreciate that. 8 years, 10 for Barkov. Yeah. Ekblad needs to hit the gym, right? Absolutely, Ethan. Thanks for coming out, man. I hope you're right. I absolutely hope you're right. Oh, one bad Steve. I appreciate that. All right, I'll even say it. Seriously, thank you, Steve. Thank you, man. We need to clear Hubie's contract so we can re-sign Yandel. Apparently, there was no love lost between those two. And I just makes me wonder what goes on behind the scenes there. You know what I mean? Yeah, SoFlo. I was wondering about that. Thank you, man. Because I know that Hornquist is capable of playing at 4 seed, but yeah, I know it was Wenberg for most of that time, right? Yeah. Eric, yeah. The possibly putting the idea of winning a cup. You would think so. You would think with Suter, I mean, he's getting paid anyway. He's getting paid anyway. So you would think at this point, he wants to win a cup. Let's do this. Put him up there with Forsling and move Gudas down with Connaughton, Notovara. I mean, this is really an odd offseason, guys. We're lit. We're absolutely loaded. Now, Eric Cruz, did I hear about Yandel blocking a 3-way trade? No, I did not. So let me know about that. Let me know what that is. Bud, you say you think, Barkov 8.5 for times 7? Well, when I did the research on what everybody else's contracts, we came up with 10. 8.5 might, who's going to be pissed off if Barkov takes 8.5? Huberdeau is going to bitch slap him because Huberdeau is going to say, hey, that's my number is 8.5. That's his team-friendly deal. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. It's got to happen. You know what I mean? But that's going to tell us a lot about what we can expect with Huberdeau, right? If Barkov does something that low, maybe matching contracts. Give them matching contracts, right? Sit them both down and even it out, right? 7 times 9 for everybody. Just do like a Dale Talley. Like, who wants 8, 9 years? It's 7. And speaking of years, Seth Jones. Holy crap. What are they thinking? That was just absurd to give him that kind of money. All right, I want to hear if Eric answered about that. Let's see. Panthers are close. Oh, absolutely. Panthers are close. What kind of weed do I think Talon was smoking to give Strawman 5.5 and a limited no trade clause? That's the kicker. I mean, that's just insane. Strawman was never worth it. All right, you don't think Barkov is going to ask for 10? Ovechkin isn't even making that much. Barkov getting 9.5, and maybe if those are the numbers, SoFlo, if Barkov gets 9.5 and Hubie gets 8.5, those would really, really be good numbers. Right, that's a good point. That's a good point, Steve, about the sponsorships. That's a good point. So, Frank, there's a lot of interest in Yandel, huh? Who knew? Well, look, would he have been worth keeping on a low cap 7D type of thing? But he wants to play every night. And it's just not he's just not a every night defenseman on a playoff team, and I'll ride to the grave with that one. Captain Dave, you're not a Tippett fan, huh? All right. Why not, bud? What's up with Tippett? You have to give me a reason there on that one. I'd like to know. You give up Barkov so if someone takes Tippett. Now look, now Steve. You give up Barkov. Oh boy, poor Steve. But yeah, Uyghur. Yeah, I know. The only problem with that contract is that might make other players like Uyghur go, "Hey, look at what Seth Jones just got." You know what I mean? It's just a killer deal. Right, Stu. Yeah, man, we gotta get Suter in here. It would be just an absolutely perfect fit. But yeah, he was good because he was with Herman, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, Steve, that's exactly right. And that's what everybody thought that was going to happen with Panarin, right? Everybody thought Panarin was going to sign here because of the tax thing. He took less money. After taxes, he took less money to go play in New York because it's New York. And it's probably my fault. Probably my fault. He probably figured I'll get him like I got cereal boxes and puppets. He probably figured that I was going to get a loaf of bread and put a face on it and give him a number on a jersey. It's probably my fault. Now I think about it. That's my bad. Robin, all right, man. I appreciate that. That's hardcore, man. Coming out. You got to get up in less than 5 hours. Absolutely appreciate it, man. Get some rest, man. Get some rest. Thanks, bud. Herman. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah, at least just yet. Yes, may I have another? That's an interesting name. Now, yes, may I have another? Is that you, Stefan, on my nuts? We've got somebody that comes in, and every once in a while they've got a new moniker, and it's usually a play on words like that. So is that you stepping on my nuts? Because I haven't seen stepping on my nuts here. Yeah, Steve's got the good stuff. Steve has the military approved weed. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. Frank, man, dude, thank you. Much appreciated. What do I like about Reinhart? Consistency, especially when you look at him from a point of view of the guys that we have. Okay, Vetrano, inconsistent. Duclair, inconsistent. Verhaeghe's had the good year, right? Okay, Tippett, we don't really, he's showing what he can do, showing the flashes, right? But other than Barkov and Huberdeau, we don't have any consistent year in, year out 20, 25 goal guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking, no, we don't. So that's the biggest thing that I like. When I looked up his numbers, 7 years? He's at 1 year below 20 goals. Every other thing is 20, 25, 23. So that's the thing I like about his game. And you see what Zito's doing between Bennett and Reinhart. These guys are tough to play against. They're tough nosed. They go in the corners. They win the battles. They're a pain in the ass to play against. And so yeah, man. To have a guy that you can bank on it. We bank every year. We know Huberdeau, Barkov, they kind of get 20 at least. You know what I mean? And the question is, are they going to get 30? So you put a guy like that with Barkov, it's just going to be beautiful. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, man. Is we have a lot of good players, but we only have really the two guys that have done it year after year after year. Yeah. Step and Chet. Uh-oh, you'll smack me. What did I say, Steve? Oh, I said. All right, I take it back. He's not smoking military approved stuff. All right? He's not doing anything, right? Plus, he's got like the best looking kid I've ever seen. I mean, the kid is like model quality, and not like pretty boy model quality. It's like if you look at Steve's icon, his avatar on Twitter, his kid already looks like he has the personality, like he's already got his own sports talk show. He's just like, I'd never seen a kid that good looking come from. I mean, you see Steve, you see what he looks like, and then you look at his kid, and you just don't make any sense, man. Don't make any sense. All right. You don't know where stepping on my nuts is, but you seen Barry. Yeah, exactly. Reinhardt scored 25 for the Sabres, right? Yeah, he's going to need to buy Verhaeghe a Rolex. Absolutely. Is that your son's name, Peter? Yeah, good looking kid, man. No, I mean, I joke about it, but man, good looking kid. Absolutely. That smile, it does something for me, man. Yeah, Bud. Yeah, he was on pace for 36 goals, man. Oh, is that what it is, Bud? Sportsnet posted all of Barkov's goals today, and Barkov got a lot of help from Verhaeghe. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, dude, so is his middle name Peter Parker? And I'm not joking. I mean, I'm half joking, but remember, I'm a Jaws fan, right? And it's Chief Martin Brody, right? And Kyle's middle name is Martin because it just happened to be a family name, my grandfather's name. And Matthias's middle name is Brody. So together, it's Martin Brody. Gotcha. Peter Grayson, gotcha. Bud the Monkey. Bud is competing with Steve now. Alexander, why should we go after Hamilton or who should we go after? If we can't get Suter, I don't know. How much is Barry's contract? How much is he going to be asking? I know somebody up above mentioned 7 for Hamilton. I don't think we can afford 7. I think we can afford 5. We don't need a 7. We need one more top 4 guys. And Bud says we should get McCabe instead. But out of those 2 guys, Alexander, Hamilton, but yeah, Barry's wants a lot too, right? I mean, Hamilton, but I don't think either one of those guys is really a possibility for us, man. Unfortunately, only so much money to go around. And remember, this year the team has to start paying me per game for all the hype. I think the contract is for like $150 a game, but I'm trying to get that number higher right now. Eric Cruz says Reinhardt can play both center and wing, but he excelled last season at center, right? Yeah, I like the flexibility there. I don't see him at center though, just because we're so loaded. I think, and I kind of alluded to this in the video yesterday. I think this will make Sam Bennett go, oh, crap, I better sign my contract. Because with the roster we got now, if Bennett doesn't want to stay and doesn't sign for what we can afford, we just plop Reinhardt in at 2C, and it hurts us in the sense of we want both guys. But in terms of Sam Bennett, we just signed his possible replacement. So if he wants to play with Huberdeau, he's going to have to play at our price, right? Yeah, man, I drank all my almond milk. I'm doing okay though right now. Buy out Jaws. Trading for McElhaney. Well, let's see. I would like to get McElhaney on the team. Bob for McElhaney. How about that? Yeah, I'm about that. Bob, straight up Bob for McElhaney. You give Spencer Knight 70 starts, and every time it's McElhaney's time to start, he pulls his groin, and you put Monty in at backup. Selke level, bud. That's strong. Do I think Bennett will keep up his production? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Now I'm gonna play with that a little bit. The key to that is I know a lot of people think Duclair is going to move down, and he might. He might. I mean, we're so loaded. We're so loaded. And look, the other thing with this, don't be surprised. We already saw Q shuffling lines around in the middle of games and everything like that. And with the players that we have, I don't think any of the lines are really going to be hardcore stick set lines. Q doesn't seem to do that. I mean, I think we're going to have set centers and set pairings, Barkov or Verhaeghe, but they rotated the guy, right? And it was Huberdeau with whoever was at 2C, but they kept rotating the guy. And the same thing on the third line. So I think Q is going to constantly mix and match one of the wingers on each line. But either way, I think Bennett works better with Tippett. Obviously, I'm biased that way because they obviously had chemistry there with Huberdeau. But that puts Duclair on the third line. And if we don't lose Vetrano, I mean, we're just so loaded. It's so beautiful. Okay, so Ryan, Stu says, I lost it here for a second. Oh, yeah, Reinhardt is a right shot. Perfect with Barkov. Yeah, absolutely. What are the upcoming defense? Do you mean Tim, are you asking me about our younger upcoming guys? Frank, dude. All right, man. Dude, man, I owe you a shirt. Right? I thank you, man. Seriously, Frank. Seriously. We're so loaded up front. Someone needs to go on IR. It took me a minute to figure it out. Yeah. We're so loaded up front, someone needs to go on the IR and come back for the playoffs. I nominate Hornquist or Achari. That's not even a joke, though, right? I mean, not that. Hornquist would be the one because of his cap hit. Just bring Hornquist back for the playoffs nice and fresh. That's beautiful, man. That is absolutely beautiful. All right, let's see. Yeah, the 911 line was amazing. I know. Look, any way we slice it, right? What I'm afraid of happening here, is Tippett getting buried. And just hear me out, because you guys know how hard I worked to get Q to get him to put. Here's Fluffy sitting up. You guys know how hard I worked to get Q to put Tippett in the top 6. My concern is that Tippett with Wenberg, I think, would be meh. Fluffy, there's nowhere to go. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. I got to stand up. Come here. Come on, go this way. Come on, go that way. He's walking around. See, there's the tail. All right, buddy. Good boy. Okay? I'm going to be done soon, all right? It's a good boy. We'll put you outside then. All right. What the hell was I saying? Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, the thing with Tippett, I'm afraid of him getting buried because I don't think he would work really great with Wenberg. And, with Lundell, we don't know exactly how he's going to be. So if you put Tippett on that third line, if we move Vetrano and then we'll end up with a third line, Hornquist with Lundell and Tippett, and it's not really, he may not look so good. You know what I mean? I think he's the type of player that can feed off of Bennett and a Huberdeau, but I would really rather move Duclair down to that third spot. But you're not wrong. That line was good. But really, I think anybody that plays with Bennett and Huberdeau is going to do good. And I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah, Stefan Chet, right. We're so loaded. Yeah, Danisenko, Hepo, Niemi, right? I mean, I made a full roster and I left out Hornquist. So it's ridiculous. It's a beautiful thing. It's not a complaint. But we could legit end it with a fourth line of Achari and Marchment with Hornquist could be on the fourth line. It's beautiful. But I have a feeling Vetrano's going to be gone. All right, so Flo has one. For Higgy, Barkov, Reinhardt, Huberdeau, Bennett, Duclair. Well, I can't argue that that's a good top 6. I think either way, it's going to work out to our benefit. We'll put it that way. You know what I mean? And who knows, if Lundell comes in and rocks the house and Tippett's on his wing, maybe that that would work too. I'm good with that. All right, let's see. Sean, thanks for coming out. How irritated will I be if Q sticks Marchman? Yeah, just to troll me. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be less than optimal. That would be less than optimal. You know, and if you guys watched the thing with George Richards, I brought up Tippett. I mean, he felt like Tippett had potential to get up top too. Now that of course was before we got Reinhardt. So I'm not the only one high on Tippett, but I'll shut up about Tippett right now. Right. Let's see. He's played Ryan. Thanks for coming out. New name, man. New name. Once Tippett was moved up consistently. Exactly, man. Yep. Right. I think Ryan. That's a perfect point, man. I think that it's the combination of those three guys that does it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm a little bit concerned about moving Tippett down. But if Lundell comes in and is what everybody thinks he's going to be, then we'll be good to go. See, power play 1, Hubie, Hornquist, Ekblad, Barkov, Reinhardt, and then Bennett, Duclair, Vetrano, Forsling, and Uyghur. Also, you're talking about going with the 5 forwards on the first unit. Hornquist in front. With Huberdeau, Ekblad, no, that's not 5 forwards. Barkov, Ekblad's in there. I see. Barkov, Reinhardt, and Huberdeau with Hornquist in front of the net and Ekblad back, and then Bennett, Duclair, and Vetrano. Yeah. I'm good with that. Forsling and Uyghur though, a traditional setup 3-2 for that. Who else would we put up there? Wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, that's still good. Yeah, Stu, I agree with you, man. I mean, I don't want to trigger any of the fans, you know, but on paper right now, one team in this league that I think that we go up against and we don't expect to win the series, and that's Tampa, and that's because of Vasilevsky. Right now in the Eastern Conference. And I'm not, it's not a guarantee, obviously. Excuse me, it's never a guarantee. But there are no teams that I look at other than Tampa that I don't say we can beat that team. 7 games. Give me a 7-game series, and we're going to move on. Alapana Santana, that is a new name to the channel. I hope I said it right, and I appreciate that, man. Much appreciation. Absolutely, man. I hope I said your name right. That's a cool name. I like that name. All right. Really. Absolutely. I know I say that a lot when somebody does a super chat, but after 5 years waiting to get monetized, let me tell you, every time I see that, it is a beautiful thing. It's absolutely a beautiful thing. I really thank you. Stu, now, all right. You see this? One Bad Steve has now gotten Stu to start trolling me about Tippett. Can you believe this? My own agent. I mean, Stu is getting me Gretzky. He's got Bobby Orr come on next week, and now, One Bad Steve wouldn't let you send a super chat. That's interesting. It's obviously it's activated here. I've had 4 or 5, but that's okay, man. But I'm not behind. I'm at the bottom. I'm doing what Steve told me to do, man. I'm at the bottom. Hey, Frank. All right. Oh, you live in Homestead, Frank, man. I appreciate that, dude, man. Let me. Yeah. I tell you what. Let's talk about that, Frank. You message me, man. Somebody, some way, somehow, and like I've said before, I get in separate. You could call it. I could call it anything I want. I don't like leaving the dogs. I'm probably the one with the separation anxiety about leaving the dogs. You know what I mean? But a hockey game opening night might be able to get me over that. We'll have to see how that works out. But seriously, Frank, thank you, man. Absolutely, dude. I'm stoked. I'm stoked now. All right. Who would win in 7? Oh, Bud, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. Who would win in 7? The 96 Panthers or the current Panthers? Who's in goal for us? Who's in goal? If we play, if we play Bobrovsky, the 96 team. The 96 team. If we play Knight, I think this team takes them. And it's hard to, look, it's a fun thing, right? It's hard to compare teams with from different eras and everything like that. Yeah, Chris. All right, so that's a football question. So I'm going to address that here real quick. I appreciate you coming out. So that we keep it separated, right? Because I've had a few people say, "Hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start having once a week before the season starts. I'm going to have a football only live stream so that we can get any of the football stuff out in our own separate live stream, and so that we just have a hockey live stream and a football live stream. That way, everybody gets what they want. And then during the regular season, I'm going to be having a lot of football live streams before the games and everything like that. So, yeah, I'm the kind of guy that I'll sit here and talk with whoever about whatever. But I've had a few people kind of reach out and say, "Hey, let's keep it to one sport." And so that I figured, well, let's do it that way. I'm gonna have a football only live stream at least once a week, and then once the season starts, there'll be a lot more. That's triggered. I'm triggered, Steve. I'm triggered. The 96 Panthers or the 2021 Canadians. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That team was better. The 96 Panthers were better. They were better. But I hear what you're saying. All right, Bud says, in 15 years from now, what Panther player number do I think will be retired? In 15 years? 16. Maybe 16. That's the only one. Because Knight will still be playing, right? Did we retire Luongo's number? It's not been enough time yet, right? Did we retire Luongo's number? Are there any numbers that we've retired? That's a good question. You think we'll retire Huberdeau, huh? Okay, so Luongo's the only retired number. Dang, I guess that makes sense, but I'm surprised nobody from that 96 team, but Beezer just wasn't with us long enough, I guess, even though, I'm trying to think of anybody else. We had players like Bure, but he wasn't with us long enough. He wasn't you don't think of the Panthers when you think of Bure, right? And that's it. Oh, now you got now Bud's calling me boomer. Izinga, Torrey, and Luongo. Okay, don't forget Hubie and Ekblad. Retire the channel. Like, jeez. You guys are retire. Yeah, we should retire Yandel's number. Absolutely. Yeah. The Luongo thing. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, over there on the wall. You see that That's from the retirement. I had a bunch of people sent me those. I've got like 3 or 4 of those. That's the first one I took out of the package. So I had a feeling that was retirement. I didn't realize that was the only player, right? All right, guys. So another couple of minutes here. Voice is getting ready to go on me. I got to get the dog outside. He's laying in front of me. The weather keeps screwing around with us. It got too hot again. Yeah, Stephen Weiss. That's what I'm talking about, man. You know, it's kind of a shame we only have the one player retired. And if Luongo was retired, why not Weiss? I mean, we haven't won a cup, right? We haven't won anything. So it's not like you say, oh, only the guys that were in the championship caliber should get it. I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, I've got a special place in my heart, obviously, for, the guys from the 96 team, Jovanovski and Lindsay. Lindsay's number should have been retired just for the goal. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, and then Jokinen, right? The longest tenured captain. I think the problem is we haven't won, right? So it's like hard to pick. For other teams, when they win cups, look at Tampa, right? It's going to be easy to say you should retire, maybe Vasilevsky's number or Stamkos or Kucherov because they won. But when you haven't won, you got to start picking and choosing. And I guess they want to keep the bar set pretty high. You know what I mean? Retire the rats on the ice. Whoa. That's what do they call that? Not hearsay. What do they call that? That's not cool. I'm going to use a smaller word than a bigger word. No, we cannot retire the rats on the ice, man. That's one of the best things about when we win the games, man. Absolutely. Yeah, but Beezer, yeah. Simon, I like the dog. Cool. Yeah, man. I love that dog. I love both my dogs. I was looking at pictures today. Saw a really good picture of all 3 of the dogs together before Sonia died. They were all in the river, and they were all like something must have saw something because the pictures they're all like lined up, and then they were all looking off in the other direction. Man, it's weird, man. I miss my dog. You know what I mean? I still got the 2, but every day we're at the river or at the beach, and it's just, it's missing. I'm missing. There should be 3. When I come home and I get greeted, I'm like, there should be 3 instead of 2. But stupid cancer, man. Yeah, we never retired Jovanovski. No, I know, right? I say let's just retire Gabranson, huh? How about that? Just retire both, 55 and 44. Right? Let's see. You weren't around for the 96 team, born in 2002. Right. Retire Marino number for all South Florida sports. That's interesting. Taylor went to the Jets to sabotage them. All right, guys. I'm fading. Voice is fading. I'm ready to go eat. Get my dinner going. I appreciate everybody that came out. Genuinely. Absolutely. I appreciate all the super chats that may not seem like a lot, but when I look at how things are adding up over the course of the month, and I can start looking at saying, hey, I might be able to pay this bill or that bill by doing this. I can see where if I get to a certain level, I will actually be able to do this for a living. And that's because of all of you. So genuinely appreciate that, man. Steve, love you too, brother. Thank you, guys. Alla Pata Santana, La Fontaine. Absolutely, man. And 99 is retired for the Panthers, too. That's interesting. Huh. The retired numbers are 137 and 93. I'm not reading that one bad, Steve, man. Steph Chet, thanks. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Today is Sunday. I'm going to try and get a second live stream. I'm going to do the football live stream in the middle of the week. That's for sure. And then I'm liking these Sunday live streams, so keep an eye out for that because I take Matthias home like in the middle of the day, noon. I can get a nap, and then rather than trying to do a video, I can do this. So, all right, guys. I'm sure we're going to have something coming out tomorrow again, Frank. I saw that. I appreciate that, man. I might be a bit humble to accept that, but we'll work something out, man. We'll work something out. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. I'll see you again next time.